Hey, this is Jeffrey Pepper Rodgers here for Acoustic Guitar with a lesson on drop D fingerpicking. Drop D tuning, where you drop the sixth string down to D, is such a natural fit for fingerpicking, especially because of those low open strings that you get. So when you're playing a D chord, you got that nice low root note on the sixth string, plus you got an A, the fifth, on the fifth string, and another root an octave up on the fourth string. So that means when you're finger picking, you can kind of get a bass going with your thumb, and then your fretting hand is pretty free to move around the neck. So you can hear drop D finger picking in all kinds of classic songs like Jorma Kaukonen's Embryonic Journey, Taj Mahal's Fishin' Blues, Pete Seeger's Livin' in the Country, Bruce Coburn's Wondering Where the Lions Are, on and on. All kinds of great tunes. So this lesson will introduce you to some of the basics of fingerpicking and drop D using a series of little instrumental tunes. So get in tune, drop your sixth string down to D, and let's get started. So one of the pleasures of fingerpicking and drop D tuning is playing a Travis-style alternating bass. So that's what will be the focus of this first example. It's a simple little ragtime-inspired tune. So at first here, you're going to alternate between two strings. So on the D chord, alternating between the sixth and the fourth strings. Also on the G, sixth and fourth strings. Notice that because of the tuning, I've got to reach up to the fifth fret on the sixth string for that bass note on the G. Also on the E7 chord, alternating between the sixth and fourth string. And then on the A, the alternation is between the fifth and the fourth string. And then in some measures, actually going to alternate on three strings. So on the D, playing something like that, 6, 4, 5, 4. And on the G, so that's also 6, 4, 5, 4. And then on the A, so that's 5, 4, 6, 4, 5, 4, 6, 4. And I'm playing a bar with my index finger and reaching over and grabbing that bass note, second fret of the sixth string, with my middle finger. So on the treble side of this, I play pinches, which means you're picking a treble note and a bass note simultaneously, and then also playing a lot of notes on the offbeat, so in between the bass notes. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. As indicated by that last example, drop D is great for fingerpicking melodies above a bass line. So I've written several songs doing just that, finding a melody with my fingers and then singing along with it. So that's what I did with this next example, which comes from a song of mine called Somehow. So this time, rather than an alternating bass, play a steady monotone bass. You can use a little palm muting to bring out that kind of slow blues feel. So just rest your palm on the bass strings, kind of right on top of the bridge there. And try this one out. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a... Thanks again to those low open strings, those bass notes, drop D gives you a lot of latitude to move up the neck. So let's practice that in the next few examples. In this one, you start up here at the 10th fret on the treble strings, and then stay mostly in 7th position with your index finger at the 7th fret. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's a little bit more practice finger picking up the neck, in this case in the key of D minor, and you stay in 5th position throughout. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. When you're finger picking in drop D, you can do a lot more than just play an alternating bass or a monotone bass, and you shouldn't limit yourself to the key of D either. This next example comes from an original instrumental that's titled Side by Side, which began as a solo guitar piece and now is arranged for guitar and flute also. So this is in the key of G, which works great for drop D tuning because you've got that low bass note available under the 5 chord, which is the D. So the picking style here is mostly arpeggios with a melody played on strings 2 and 3. So you move up and down the neck a lot here in this excerpt, and the open strings facilitate those position shifts. So make sure to let all the notes ring as long as possible for a flowing sound. 1, 2, 3, 4. To close out this lesson, try improvising your own little tunes using drop D. So first play through these scales, which are D mixolydian with a couple notes added in. The flat 3, which is an F natural, and sharp 4, which is G sharp, in 2 positions. So what you can do is get a D bass line going on the low open string, so you could either do an alternating bass, you could just do a monotone bass, or even just as simple as half notes or whole notes, just let it ring. And then just see what you can make up on the treble strings using the notes from this scale. 1, 2, 3, 4. One, 2, 3, 4. Here's just a quick example of an improvisation based on the notes of that scale. I'll just get a alternating bass started, see what I can make up. hope these examples inspire you to explore more drop D fingerpicking. Any type of finger style will adapt well to this tuning. And you can try a variety of keys too, not just D and G, but also A, major and minor, and E minor for starters. So once again, for acoustic guitar, I'm Jeffrey Pepper Rodgers. Thanks for watching.